Welcome to the Courage to Be podcast. I am your host, Tanya Vasallo. What are you grateful for right in this moment? Pause 1 second, close your eyes, and think to yourself, what am I grateful for right now? And I ask you this because gratitude is one of the simplest and most powerful practices that you can use daily. It's so important to have this reflection. We practice this. I've been practicing gratitude, and you've heard about this. It's one of those cliches, it's almost cliche, like practice your gratitude journal. But there is something powerful with it and practicing gratitude on a daily basis. I've carried and I've done my gratitude journal for years, for decades, and one of the tricks that I have with the gratitude journal so that we can become very present to it is truly stopping and thinking about what you're grateful for in that particular moment. And when I do my gratitude journal, I do not allow myself to say what I'm grateful for that I said the day before. So if the day before I'm grateful for my health, I'm so happy and thankful for, being able to spend an afternoon with my daughter or whatever it is, I make sure that the next day I don't repeat the same gratitudes because it becomes lazy and it becomes mechanical. And so you lose a little bit of that essence of being grateful for something. We also practice gratitude I have a group we do the 6 a.m. club. We meet every morning, Monday through Fridays. And that's one of the practices that we have in there. We do it in community and we do our gratitudes. We don't share them out loud, but we do write it in our journal. So I invite you to start practicing gratitude, whether it's in the morning or at the end of the day, pull out your journal and write about what you're grateful for. And it's important to include this because there's a science behind that. You know that stats say that people who keep a daily gratitude journal, they report 25% higher levels of happiness. And gratitude also improves sleep quality by 10 to 15%. So just even imagine going before you go to sleep, grab a journal, grab a piece of paper, do a brain dump of all the things that you need to do, and then write down the things that you're grateful for that day. I don't know if you've ever heard about Dr. David Hawkins. He did the research on emotional frequency and gratitude. So he has like the scale of emotions, from like anger, irritability, shame. It keeps going up in different emotions. Then you have love, you have gratitude, you have appreciation, enthusiasm. And on his scale that he did this scientifically studied is gratitude vibrates at the 540 hertz, which is the same level as joy and unconditional love. So it helps us move out of fear, of guilt, of apathy, which vibrate much lower. If you look up that emotional scale online, you want to start becoming present to that. It's so important because we are energetic beings. We move through energy. And if you and this energetic vibration of emotions, of the scale, if you can bring yourself up, I mean, the whole goal is that, right? Is that we want to vibrate and calibrate at a different level that's in the higher levels, of like what I just said, apathy, unconditional love, joy, gratitude. And so that's where you want to start practicing and strengthening that muscle of gratitude. There's also Esther Hicks. Remember Esther Hicks with the concept of the vortex and stepping into the vortex, because that's where we can start attracting and becoming, more magnetic. And gratitude is one of the fastest paths to entering the vortex. It's you become more aligned, you're at a higher frequency space, you have more clarity, more abundance, joy. You start attracting all those things when you're in the space of gratitude. So it is an important thing to think about. Another ritual that we've created in our family with gratitude, which is very sweet, it's every morning most mornings, I'd say, like maybe 5 days of the 7 days of the week, it depends on how crazy the day is. But we try and really pause and spend this time together. We light a little candle and we call it morning light. And we even have a little song that goes with it. And we sing, one of us sings the song, or the three of us will sing it together. And then we light the candle, and each one of us in the family will go around and we'll share what we're grateful for in that particular moment. Then we hold hands and then we blow out the candle. And it's such a sweet way to start our day and get our, start our day with intention and stay focused in that space of gratitude. So I really invite you to think about things that you're grateful for, maybe write them down tonight or this morning, or even as you're here. You could even set your alarm throughout the day that pauses you and says that you ask yourself, what am I grateful for right at this moment? Oh, and I'll share something else too. If you're in one of those moments of space and time where you're like, oh, I'm not grateful for anything right now. I'm just so frustrated. Everything's going wrong. Because we do have those moments. And those are the moments where you're like, stop this healy-feely, this gratitude. I don't want to deal with that kind of nonsense at this moment. I don't want to hear about that. My invitation when I'm in that kind of space, because we are all humans and we are going to be in those spaces at moments, is when you write your gratitude, you can preface it with, even though, I'll give you an example, even though our roof had leaks this past week, I am so grateful for the workers that happen to be around our home right now, and that we were able to catch this before our big move to Bali, because I wouldn't want to have a phone call from, the new renters and telling us that we have to fix this. So that's an example. Like, even if you're frustrated with something, there's always a way to find gratitude within that space. And so I want you to go deep in with gratitude. Try and not make it superficial. Like, I'm thankful for, my home. I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful and I'm appreciative of my husband. And I'm thankful for being alive today, period. Like, that's one energy. But how about, I am so thankful for you being here right now listening. I'm thankful for the internet. I'm thankful for you carving out the time to go and listen to this short episode, because maybe it'll raise your vibration. And I'm grateful that you're bringing that and applying it, because you'll have an impact on someone in your life. It might be your kids, your spouse, someone else. So you see how you can go much deeper with just one subject of gratitude instead of just listing a whole list of things that you're grateful for. And I'd rather you do that and go deeper than having a list of 20 things you're grateful for. Because what you really want to do is feel that gratitude. It's so important to have that feeling and that gratitude than just doing it mechanically and rambling off a list of gratitudes. So I'd love to hear from you. Maybe post in our YouTube. Head over to YouTube. I don't know where you're listening to the podcast, but head over to YouTube. Leave us a comment in this gratitude. And as a way of saying thank you for leaving us a comment or a rating or a review, you will be entered into a monthly contest that I will be gifting one of our listeners a 7-day, 8-night complimentary vacation. So I look forward to hearing from you. Let's stay connected and do your gratitudes today. What are you thankful for? If you loved today's episode, it would mean so much if you rate and review The Courage to Be on Apple Podcast. Not only does it help the show to grow, but it also gets you in the running for something amazing. Every month, I draw one lucky winner to receive a complimentary 7-night, 8-day vacation. You'll get to pick from over 3,000 beautiful resorts worldwide. You just cover the taxes and fees like you would with a travel rewards. Airfare is not included. And if you want to double your chances, along with your Apple Podcast review, leave a couple of comments on YouTube. That counts as a second entry. Just send your screenshots to help.thecouragetobe@gmail.com, and you'll find the email in the show notes too. It only takes a moment, and who knows, your next adventure might be closer than you think. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you on our next episode of the Courage to Be podcast.